heavy buckets. Clutch time.
Tyler Herro, what a finisher he's becoming.
Lane, Oladipo. Oh, that's right. You better mean mug after you dunk on somebody that way.
Gonna run it down. He goes with it. Adebayo for the win.
Gad, make a tweet, bro.
That's still on me? Okay, we'll get to that.
Welcome to the 5 Reasons Sports post-game show, a.k.a. the Post Up on 5R, but it's not really like a post-game show. It's not going to run like our regular time does. But me and Gat decided that we want to come on here and talk about it because we thought this game would have been over by now, so we planned on starting like the third quarter. But then Trae Young went off, and now here we are. We don't know who we're going to play, so we're going to assume that it's the Hawks.
It's a 3-point game. I could not tell you who's going to win this. I think it's the Hawks because, like, what's the Cavs' plan offensively? I don't know. It has gone away since they're like, oh, Lauri Markkanen isn't shooting 100% from 3. I don't know what to do anymore. And that's just where we're at right now, man. Like, this is –
But it's the same thing on the other end, though, right? Like, it's like we don't know what the Cavs' plan is offensively. I have no idea what Atlanta's trying to accomplish defensively.
And
like,
offensively.
Even offensively, like it's kind of like why is Cleveland still switching on Trae Young? Oh my God. Okay, so we're playing the Atlanta Hawks. That's what I want to talk about.
Is that sourced information?
Almost.
First of all, my gosh.
Let's start here. I mean, this game had to make you feel good about the Heat's first round opponent, right?
Yeah, like, I mean, granted, we haven't been stressed about this, right? Like, on More Floor this week, we talked about it. You said Heat in 4 for either series. I said Heat in 5 against the Cavs, and it's kind of up in the air, Heat in 4/5 against the Hawks. It's like, you see the blueprint. These teams, they look solid against each other because they're two, like, mid-tier teams. It's like, what are we supposed to be afraid of? The Hawks, they can't guard a soul. The Cavs are defending themselves because they have 2 bigs, and then when they don't have their third big, knocking down 6 of 6 from 3, there tends to be issues with their spacing, and their star guard can't really get a lot of stuff going, and he's just been chucking it tonight. I mean, Darius Garland, he's got like 26 shots, I want to say, coming down the stretch here. And Trae, I mean, listen, Trae is an unbelievable one-man offense. The problem is, there's some times where you don't need to do that. Like, he will guard his own team because, like, okay, yeah, you get the big on the high pick and roll. What's the point of ISOing that if you have no backline defender? Just drive, get the big on your hip, and you have a 2-on-1 with a guard playing the paint. Like, they're just the process for both of these teams offensively is pretty shaky. It's really dependent on jump shooting, specifically for the Hawks. And then, I mean, the Hawks defense, it's like, pick your poison.
Do what you want.
The shooters are going to go for 40 points every single game.
For sure. And then on top of that, Jimmy's going to go for 40 because we just saw Clint Capella go down in this game.
Oh, I forgot about Clint Capella. I keep forgetting about that. That's a big deal for a potential series against the Heat.
Because then you got Onyeka Okongwu. I know I butchered that motherfucker, but that's going to be their starter center. Okongwu. He doesn't strike me as a rim protector.
Yeah, and then they have – he's like one of those guys that's in the Bam mold, except he's like kind of the idea of Bam if Bam couldn't actually do the things that Bam does. Like, that's really what he is. And then off the bench, you have Gorgui Dieng, God bless his soul. He's just an Eastern Hemisphere Dwayne Dedmon. So you're not really doing much here. Like, they don't move me in the front court. They have Danilo Gallinari, who stripped I think it was – I don't remember who it was. I think he stripped Lauri Markkanen, and that's when I kind of started falling asleep during this game because it's like, man, this stuff cannot be happening. But, I mean, it's coming down the stretch here. It looks like it's going to be – I don't know.
Yeah, bro, they're equally terrible, bro. Like, I think that's the problem that I'm having here. Oh, my God, bro. Like, man, one of the things that we have to avoid doing is play-by-play here. You know what I mean? But Gad and I are watching the game as it's happening.
Yes.
And so we want to keep these topics like pretty much general theory. Like we saw the Cavs early on in this game. We saw them kind of like play to the identity that they were playing to earlier in the season. They kind of got them to that, 6 seed legitimate playoff thing. They were defending pretty well. Jared Allen definitely gave them a spark. And so when you saw that, it was like, okay, that team might give the Heat a little problem. At no point in this game, even during their run in the third quarter, have I thought about the Hawks giving Miami problems. But that's but that's not here nor there. Like the Cavs shown flaws, the Hawks shown flaws. Which of those flaws is kind of like the biggest advantage for Miami for each team? You can do both teams.
I mean, I guess for the Hawks, the thing is, like, they have a lot of guys that can hit those tough shots, and the Heat, they force you into a lot of those tough shots. So, obviously, like, Trae, he can go for 30 and 10 pretty much whenever he wants. Gallo can get hot for 20. Bogdan can get hot for 20. Herter can get hot for 20. John Collins being there makes a huge difference for their offense, but without him, like, they don't really have that pick-and-pop threat. They don't have the roll threat. They don't really have good screeners. I mean, Capella's solid, but he's nothing too crazy. He's nothing that we can't get around. I don't know. It's just the Hawks' offense has potential, but their defense has equal potential to give up 130 points on any given moment, and that's a big issue. And then you look at the Cavs, yeah, their defense, they can turn you into a jump shooting team because they have so much ability to deter you from the rim. Good on them, right? Mobley, Allen, Markkanen, they do a good job. Like, that is a good idea. But when you break it down, the offense is really reliant on Markkanen being super efficient from three or Kevin Love being super efficient from three. Like, the offense doesn't scare me at all. You're going to ask Darius Garland to take down a team that plays team-oriented offense and plays team-oriented defense. You're asking a lot of one man to do, and I don't see it. I think the Cavs they're building something really good, but they're still 1 or 2 years away from really giving a team like the Heat the problems. Nothing scares me. Like, I'm pretty confident against either one of these teams, as I think all Heat fans should be. Like, they are a flat-out better team.
Yeah, you should feel good going into the playoffs. I think one of the things that kind of, with the Lauri Markkanen thing, a lot of his shots, he went off tonight a little bit. A lot of that came from the Hawks' bad defense. Like, they just kept leaving him open. And, like, you look at that and be like, okay, if he can do that, then their offense has potential. But against Miami, he's not going to be able to do that. We put Duncan Robinson on him, and because we play team-oriented defense, like you said, like, our defense don't leave him.
The Hawks don't rotate.
No, they don't do nothing.
Like, defense is supposed to be on a string. That string was cut, burnt at the ends, and tied in a bunch of knots because there's no cohesion between that unit. It is literally just, let's just vibes. There's just vibes on defense. That's really what it is.
So Trae Young had scored up to this point 31 points in the second half, which I mean, look, that's what he can do. But this game looks like it's going to be the Hawks versus the Heat, and so let's just rock out with that theory. I mean, look, do you think Trae Young is going to be able to steal my Atlanta game in a series versus Miami this year?
I think sure, yeah. I think they'll be able to win one. I think it'll probably be Heat in 5 because, like, you go to Atlanta, they have a really good home crowd. Those role players start rocking a little bit. They hit some threes. Bogdanovich is feeling himself. Gallo feels like he's 25 years old again. And you start feeling good, right? Like, there's the potential for that to happen. And then if Trae hits a few shots, yeah, that's the recipe. Trae's going to have to go for like 39 and 13 in a game to beat the Heat, in my opinion. That's the thing with these lower tier teams is you have these young upstart guards, right? But you don't really have the requisite team in order to support them to make a run. They got that last year, mainly because they played against the Knicks. That's the most Mickey Mouse first round win. Credit to them. They won in the first. They dominated the Knicks. It was not close, right? And then you had Philly, who in my opinion was a better team, but they just got absolutely, they just imploded against Atlanta. And Trae, credit to Trae, man. Like, he shows up for these games. He really does. He had a really rough first half today. He showed up. He's a gamer. He's not afraid of any moment, which I do respect. But against a team like Miami, I think the defense is a little different because Cleveland, they hang their hat on one thing. And they'll try to switch Allen and Mobley every now and again, but it's a different animal when you're playing against Bam. You get Bam over there, and then you don't have that roll threat in Capella. Yeah, Anish Bhavsar, sorry if I mispronounced that, but it said no Collins or Capella, Heat in 5 easy. I think if they had Collins, it'd be a lot more interesting in terms of what the Cavs can throw at, or the Hawks can throw at you offensively. But I mean, like, man, I don't see threats on this offense for the Hawks right now. They have shooters, but they don't really have like a well-rounded offense. It's just Trae high pick and roll until death, and they might die doing that.
Listen, I think that's kind of like where it's leading me to. My man, whatever the fuck his name is, got me right on the head. Heat in 4. We're going to sweep these bitches, Gadiel Cartagena.
I'm with it.
Like, we're gonna put Caleb Martin on Trae Young all game long. Whenever he comes in, he's never going to get out because he's going to shut Trae Young down.
40 Caleb Martin minutes?
That's it, bro. Why not? Ain't no use having Kyle Lowry burn himself out, running around, chasing.
Oh, hell no. Kyle Lowry is not guarding Trae Young. That is the way that Trae Young gets to 39 and 13. I will tell you that much. That is not the guy Kyle Lowry needs to guard.
So starting out the game, who do you put on him? You start Jimmy on him?
I don't know. I like the idea of. I mean, who's starting? It's Kyle,
Strus, Jimmy.
You're not putting
Bam,
Strus. You're not putting Strus. You're not putting
No.
Strus. I like Strus against like the Gallo types of their team.
Sure.
Just
I can't hear you. No, you're muted on StreamYard. I still can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but through your headphones. You got to change to your microphone again.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. Like, I guess you start Jimmy on him, but I really like the idea of Jimmy and Bam being able to play free safety. I know you alluded to that. 2 days ago? That just, it sounds so nice. I mean, that was the recipe kind of in the bubble, right? It was like, okay, just keep in front, let Bam and Jimmy play free safety, and those two will wreak havoc on any offense. So it is enticing, but do you want to put PJ on Trae? I feel like that's a recipe for PJ to get into foul trouble. So yeah, I think it's Jimmy to start. And you'll probably.
But there's gonna be a quick switch. It's gonna be a quick trigger on the bench, and Herro's going to come in, but I think a lot of times it's going to be Herro and somebody else to come in and guard Trae. My bet is on Caleb Martin. Like, I think this is going to be a Caleb Martin series, which means I don't expect much Dedmon. They're not going to need Dedmon much in this series.
I agree with that. You can put PJ as a small ball 5. That's fine with me.
Yeah. So I don't think So what do you do with the rotation in this? Like, maybe he plays Dedmon a little bit, but how does your rotation shake out in this series against Atlanta?
I mean, you got the starters. I think you got Gabe. You got Caleb. Caleb's going to be seeing minutes from like guarding Trae Young all the way down until playing a small ball 4. Like, he's going to be all over the floor. Caleb, I think, is crucial against the Hawks. That's one thing that I think is definitely really, really important. Gabe has to be in there, in my opinion, just because you need another point of attack defender. I do not want Kyle Lowry having to waste his energy on Trae. It just doesn't make sense.
This to me doesn't feel like
into foul trouble.
This doesn't feel like a Kyle Lowry series to me.
Probably not. But at the same time, like, the pull-up shooting is always going to be there. So that was one of my takeaways, especially if they would have played against the Cavs. But if Kyle Lowry's pull-up shooting is there, our offense is going to be pretty damn good. It's going to be pretty fun. This is interesting. Jimmy at the 5?
Why not? Like, against the Hawks, I think he'll be able to get away with it. I think this should be – let's talk about Bam a little bit, because I think this should be a pretty big Bam series. Without Capella in there, they don't really have anybody in that paint that should be able to match what Bam can bring. He should go in there seeing food. Of course, everybody on the team should, but Bam in particular should have a pretty solid series. What are you expecting from Bam against the Hawks?
I mean, I'm expecting a good series. Honestly, I think it's more so of a Jimmy series. I think Bam is going to give you like his 20, 10. I think he's going to have a good playmaking series because they just leave shooters open. Like, you hit Bam on the short roll, he's going to be cooking these dudes in the short roll. But I think it's going to be more so a Jimmy series because the straight line drives are really, really easy against this team, especially without Capella. But Bam's definitely going to.
That's why I think Bam is going to have a big one. Like, straight line
Bam,
drives.
He's not really like a off the dribble, like 10 times a game straight line drive type of guy, if you get what I'm saying. Like, it's more so Jimmy. gets that. So I think that's going to be more beneficial. And Bam, like he's going to be switching out a lot. He's going to be he's going to be wreaking havoc defensively. So I'm not going to hold him if he doesn't go for 24, 12 and 6 or something. I think like 20, 10 and 5 is about what I expect. I think the playmaking is going to go up a little bit because you can use him as a hub of offense and just have cutters go around him because you don't even need to work at the top of the key. They have no one threatening you at the elbow. He can face up and just have people cut behind. Like Gallo's going to get cooked. I would imagine maybe DeAndre Hunter is going to be on him when Okongwu isn't. Like they have. We say the Heat stars struggle with length. Do they have length?
Outside of Hunter, no. Like, just being honest, like Capella, I guess, but he's even on the smaller side of a big man. But no, like when I say I think Bam's going to dominate, I don't necessarily mean in the scoring aspect, but I think I'm talking to what you're talking about. I think he's going to be very impactful in this series on both sides of the ball. Like this. To the basket shit that Trae Young is getting is because they switch. If the Heat switch onto goddamn Trae Young, they're gonna put Bam on him, and he's not gonna be able to drive to the rim like that on Bam. Like it's just not a thing. But yeah, let's move on to somebody else. Tyler Herro. Somebody said Tyler Herro series 100%.
Food. Fresh cooked dinner. Filet mignon, medium rare. That steak is going to be bleeding, and it is going to be fun to watch. Let me tell you, I've been super confident in Tyler Herro come playoff time. Pretty much the entire season. If you want to talk about a series for Tyler Herro to come and make a statement, I think it is going to be this series. Tyler Herro probably going to be better than Trae in this series. I don't know if the numbers will reflect that, but if his team wins 4-1 and Tyler's averaging like 26, 6 and 3, maybe maybe you can make that debate. I think Tyler's gonna have a fantastic series. He can get to wherever he wants against his team. They don't have the point of attack defenders to bother him. They don't have the physical defenders to bother him. They don't have the lengthy defenders to bother him. They don't really have the athletic defenders to bother him. Like the Hawks don't have the type of defense that is going to frustrate Tyler Herro. And they have to really over adjust to stop Jimmy and Bam from eating them alive in the paint. This is going to be food for Tyler Herro. I'm very confident in this series.
You know your last point about they're going to have to overcompensate for Jimmy and Bam in the paint. You know who that brings me to? PJ Tucker. He's going to be wide open.
Are the shots going to go in?
That's what I'm saying. If there's any serious this shit to get back on track, like this is the one, baby. Like he's going to be ass naked in that corner because they're going to sit.
They're going to put Trae Young on him. They're going to put Trae Young on him.
On PJ Tucker?
Mm-hmm. I think they did that last year against the Bucks too. And
if he's not going to move, then they're going to.
There is some results that can come out of that for the Hawks, but PJ, I think he's shown more willingness in Miami to kind of get to that like in between little floater game and using him as a screener more. So like you put Trae on PJ, you just have Tyler Herro run to the corner, get a little handoff right there, and then he's going baseline on Trae with no help defender. Like there's it could go pretty well for PJ this series, but I think it could be a swing factor. Like if he doesn't play well, I think it could be maybe the Hawks get 2.
Oh, there's no way, bro. Like I think there's going to be a Duncan Robinson game in this series. Like that's like it's
fourth quarter of game 4.
Man, like Max Strus can have a coming out party in these playoffs against the Hawks. Like it's very likely that we get big performances. It's kind of going to be emblematic of our entire season, like where we're going to have a big performance from a different guy every game because the Hawks are just so terrible defensively. Like, so it might be people setting their playoff career highs left and right. I did mention Max. I mean, easy matchup. Damn, bro. Like, I feel like we're just going to say the same thing over and over about them.
There's no tough matchup offensively for the Heat in this series. Especially without Capella. Like, with Capella, you can make the argument if they wanted to throw bodies at Jimmy, then, like, they could turn Jimmy into a playmaker a little bit. No, I think Jimmy's going to average over 20-something in this series as well. Very easily. And the Heat are going to be able to draw so many free throws, it's going to be pretty ugly to watch.
I will say, who's a better point guard than Trae? Twitter overrate him? Well, the answer is in your name, so you can start there.
Absolutely.
There's a couple of them, you know what I mean, that you can put over there. Got Steph, Dame, I don't really consider Donovan Mitchell a point guard. He's just little. F. Trae Young, I'm with you, Bahamian. Oh damn, Bahamian Heatle. I'm thinking about the boy Tim A. Yeah, bro. Like I said, like Trae Young is the only offensive threat that really can kind of like put this team over the top. But I see Miami kind of like shutting him down all series too. I'm not confident in Trae Young having a good series. Like I'm just not.
Define good series for him. Like, is that like 30 and 10?
He can average 30 and 10 and still have a bad series.
That's what I was gonna say because like he's gonna be shucking.
Yeah, he's gonna shoot the ball like 50 times.
The biggest thing with me is the defense too. Like I've never seen a point guard come out and in a do or die situation just get absolutely hunted in the first quarter of a basketball game. Now that ended up working out for the Hawks because once the Cavs stopped hunting Trae Young and the Hawks did a better job of hiding him, the Cavs had no offense to go to. So I think that was bad coaching on JB Bickerstaff's part. But like Trae, it is a turnstile attacking him on offense. It's too easy.
He's the worst defender in the league, bro.
Oh yeah, no question. He's one of the best offensive players, but he is easily the worst defender in the league.
Yeah, like, and I think that's the kind of part that's offsetting about Trae Young, bro. It's like, yes, the things that he can do on offense, absolutely stellar. You tip your hat to him, like he's a phenomenal offensive player. But defensively, bro, like anybody, I like Max Strus being able to cook, goddamn, like off the dribble too, like.
I got Jonathan Ramlicon putting up 10, 10, and 10 efficiently. Okay, no questions asked.
Man, but yeah, I mean, we didn't want to do very much on this game, so I mean, that's the fuck all that we got to say about it. We're playing the Hawks. Not much. It's anticlimactic because most of the people predicted that anyway. I think the Heat are going to beat their ass in 4. Gadiel Cartagena has them in 5. We got it on tape, but then the first predictions on the playoffs from the 5 Region Sports Network, unless you count the pod that Ethan and them are doing. No sponsors tonight because we had it first. No sponsors tonight because this shit wasn't planned and it's not really like a post-game show. So fuck all that. Any final words, Gadiel Cartagena, before we slide?
Listen, I'm going to be there on Sunday, 1 p.m. Might be getting brunch in Miami. Going to be very excited. White hot heat. I can't wait. I've been dying to make it to a playoff game. Since I've been quote unquote grown, now I can finally pay for my own damn ticket. But I'm really excited. I think it's gonna be a good ass playoff run for the Heat. Like I know you talked about it on the pod. I listened to that earlier today, the 5 on the Floor pod. It's like that you have to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. This like all I see is food. That's all, the first round. Food. This should be done in 4. I think it might get done in 5 just because Trae kind of has that thing with Atlanta where they'll just start going crazy for him. But I think this is going to be a really good series for the Heat. I think they're going to have a really good second series. And then Eastern Conference Finals, I mean, we'll wait till we get there first. But I think the first series is going to be pretty damn good. I'm excited, man. I can't wait to hear Pepas. I might come in live from the arena just singing Pepas. Who knows?
You know what, bro?
We'll see.
I live about 5 hours away from Atlanta. I should see if I can get Ethan to credential me for a playoff game.
I will go with you because I have the text typed out on my phone.
Bro, I'm gonna see if Ethan can get me credential for a playoff game. I'll do the post game show from Atlanta, talking shit to the Hawks and their fans live on my phone.
Friday and Sunday.
Friday
and Sunday.
Friday and Sunday. Let me, I'm gonna have my people talk to your people, Gadiel Cartagena.
Okay.
But yeah,
let's see what we can do.
So thank you guys in the comments as always for joining the show, making it much more fun than it would have been without you. Thank you to my man Gadiel Cartagena for jumping on here real quick, impromptu, not a long show. We weren't here for a long time. We were just here for a good time. Play the video,
Heat in 4, Heat in 5. I don't care. Let's go.
Jimmy buckets. Clutch time!
Tyler Herro, what a finisher he's becoming.
Lane, Oladipo, oh! That's right, you better mean mug after you dunk on somebody that way.